I've had a few questions about the um, checkout form and trying and seeing the subform. And one of the problems with being able to see a subform typically is related to the relationships or the database tables. If they are not related, Access is not going to know how to join those tables. So you'll want to go to external database tools and down to relationships so that you're viewing relationships. Now, if you have forms open and you try to edit a relationship, it's not going to let you. So you're going to need to kill any forms that you have open and then create these relationships. And let me go ahead and I will delete a couple of these relationships and show you how they're created. So cat ID, we're going to relate cat ID to cat ID. And on the relationships I show you here, they're not set up as enforce referential integrity. Typically when I do this, I do set up all of those. And it's going to show you a 1 to many and the little infinite loop there. And that means that there will be a category ID associated with a category description. There will only be one of those, but in our cookies table, there could be many of those cookies with multiple or with the category IDs. So it won't exist just once. It may be in there multiple times. But in this table, it only exists once. So our cookie ID to cookie name, we're going to create relationship there. This is not a one-to-many because it's not on a unique ID field, so that it could exist on both tables multiple times. Alright, so once you have this set up, and if you have these set up with this on and they look like this, that's okay. And you can have both of these set up that way. Now whenever you go to create a checkout form, and I'm going to go to create a new one, and likely if you've created these relationships and set them up after the fact, then you're going to need to start over with this. But if I go to Form Wizard and I choose my seller form, bring all the values over, the second area in which some of you may be running into trouble is you're forgetting to then join the table by choosing the checkout values and moving them over. And I think we actually pull out the seller ID. It's not necessary to display in this. So I'll pull that out. Then when you hit next, you'll see both options. If I did not join all the fields, if I only had one set in there and I go to next, we're going to skip that screen. So make sure that you've chosen both the seller, and I'm going to remove these and choose the seller first. And then I'm going to choose the checkout. Hit next. Now you'll have the option for both of those items. Next. And I think in your assignment I have you rename that. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Hit finish, and now you'll see that subform show up. So hopefully this will help eliminate any confusion with why they or why you weren't able to create a subform.